Coon. What is a coon?
Got a nice home in a Lexus truck. You a nigga. World champions and you MVP. You a nigga. 4 degrees and a PhD. Still a nigga. To use your platinum card, you need 4 IDs. Then use a nigga. If your skin is brown just like me, then you a nigga. Got a promotion and a fat ass raise. You still a nigga. You from the islands and your peoples was enslaved. You a nigga. No matter how much your ass get paid, you still a nigga. Shot by the cops at a traffic stop. Cause you a nigga. That's why I hold toast to.
What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Brad Lamar, here with my co-host, Kendu, and we like to welcome y'all to Do Better Episode 2. Coons. Coons, sellouts, shucking and jivers, sambos, all those things. What am I forgetting? Uncle Tom's.
Tap dancing?
Tap dancing.
I like tap dancing.
The lowest of the low. The people that look like you, supposed to be your skin folk, but they are not your kinfolk. Every chance they get to try to make their personal situation better, they try to down yours. We're going to talk about them today. Why does it seem like they're running so rampant these days? Why does it seem like they're coming out of the woodwork trying to make sure we don't fight back against our oppressor? Where does this come from all of a sudden?
The money.
Is it a check? Like, is it because they think that they're going to get somehow removed from their position if black people make too much noise? Like, what is it? We're going to try to get to the bottom of some of those things. And a lot of these people that's going to be on this list that we talk about are people that's talking out against the Colin Kaepernick situation and all the great things that he's doing and bringing awareness to police brutality. And people having a chance to come out here and use their voice and their platform. And not only are they neglecting to do so, they're talking bad about the situation and just shucking and jiving and tap dancing and doing all that stuff against their own people. Definition via Urban Dictionary. Shout out to Urban Dictionary, man. They be having me rolling, especially with this one. A coon. A coon is a black actor or actress who takes roles that stereotypically portrays black people. They think they've made it, but they are slaves to the same images, aka sellout. It comes from the term barracoon, which is a cage, where they used to place Africans who were waiting to be sent to America to be slaves. They had no idea of this, so some of them were even eager waiting in the barracoons. Examples of coons are roles or advertisements that are black people that play basketball, rap about a product, are obsessed with money or chicken, have a lot of video hoes, have names that show that they are black, aka Kwame, Darnell, or any 2 capital letters, JT, TJ, AJ, TC or JJ, etc. Any female name ending in a qua. You see how stereotypical this is and how they cast us and how they do things like that in commercials. Stay woke. They excessively use old terms that we've been stopped using, like bling bling, yo,
Jive turkey.
holla, I'm the man, you the man. That's whack, yo. They had that. That was in that movie. Where they had the token black guy. I forgot what movie that was. But any term that white people have begun to acknowledge, use, and accept, stuff like this happens every day. That's a coon, okay? Do you have to be a celebrity to be a coon? No, not in my opinion. You don't. It's coons out here making less than us.
I think I passed one a few hours ago.
Probably did, brother. He the one taking your license plate when you roll off from the gas station. You know what I mean? After you said it was cursing at somebody or something like that. That's that guy. That's the coon.
Yes, officer's hat was backwards.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's him. So if you was any confusion on what a coon was, that's what it is right there. First up on our list is LaDainian Thompson. Kendall, you just saw that. What do you think about that Hall of Fame speech?
You chose to talk about your mixed race in your Hall of Fame speech. Wow.
And your slave master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your great grandfather, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's I mean, that was the first time I saw that.
Yeah.
Tonight. So yeah, that was special.
I grew up on the land of a former slave plantation. And although I didn't know this as a child, it is where my great-great-great-grandfather tilled the soil. A few years ago, I visited that same plantation in Central Texas with my family and stood in the slave quarters where he lived. It's now named Tomlinson Hill. My name began with the man who owned my great-great-great-grandfather. Now, it's proudly carried by me, my children, my extended family. People stop me on the street because they know me as LT, the football player. But after football, people have begun to recognize me as LaDainian Tomlinson. Not simply for what I did as a football player, but for who I am as a man. The family legacy that began in such a cruel way has given birth to generations of successful, caring Tomlinsons. I firmly believe that God chose me to help bring two races together under one last name, Tomlinson.
I mean, I just don't understand why you would take it there unprovoked, so to speak. And I mean, I personally think that he was given that speech to say. I don't think he totally understood it or how it would come across. Sound like he was very, very proud of that. I'm trying to figure out, like, what do people, black people in certain positions, why do they feel like they gotta speak out and say something? Because if I am able to protest or to bring awareness to something, if I'm not successful at it, you coons, I mean, nothing's gonna happen to you. You're still gonna hold your high position. Nothing's gonna change for you. So what is it costing you to just be quiet? Is this the house Negro, field Negro thing, and we're wanting to run away, and you still stuck in your house Negro mentality? Is that what it is? That's what it seems like to me. We seen Ray Lewis get out and speak against Colin. We've seen the great Jim Brown get out and speak against Colin. That was a heartbreaker because he did so much in the
I'm gonna get 60s. You, sucker.
Yeah,
it's like movie, man.
Classic. It is a classic movie though. It is. Like it hurts my heart to see these guys behave in that way when it's clearly, they've been paid off. They've been bought. In one way or another, they've been bought to come out here and say those things. It's no mistake that the Ravens made a PR move to say they were going to sign Colin, but they needed to talk about Ray Lewis, talk about it with Ray Lewis first, and now he's out campaigning, talking against Colin all over the TV. Like that's not a coincidence.
We didn't sign him. It makes sense. That's my whole thing. If you don't need a player, then don't sign him.
Listen, I had a lot of conversation with most of the top people that's making these decisions, and something everybody said the same thing. Does he help us win?
Yeah.
That's the
Sure.
end. And so that's why I think it, kind of gets twisted a lot when you see people attacking Baltimore and the Ravens, like, oh, well, how did they can't do this? And I'm like saying, if Joe Flacco is out for a week, maybe. Joe Flacco is back in 2 weeks. Joe Flacco is back to playing. I'm gonna tell you what I would really love to see. Everybody's talking for Colin. Everybody here at this table knows this one thing. If you want to prove something to somebody, get on the field and prove it. If you want to really play football, voice your opinion. Muhammad Ali stood up for civil rights back in the day. But when Muhammad Ali got in the boxing ring, Muhammad Ali is pure business, because that's what he does. I think, honestly, owners, I would love to see Colin come out and say, I just want to get back to playing football.
Thank you. This is what I've been on for.
I want Colin to come out and say that to the owners across the world. Like, listen, man, look, okay, I did my little protest thing. I understand it kind of went a lot of ways, but I like football.
If you don't tell people, they've got to guess.
They got to guess, which all of us keep guessing about what.
But you know what? But this is beyond that.
He got saved. His career got saved.
Yeah.
So I get where his, mentality is coming from. That's their boy, most definitely. Most definitely. So
Yeah. I mean, I get it too. It still don't change the fact that it's cooning. It's what we're talking about right now. It's selling out, and it's no place for it right now. And what we're trying to do, because it's an awakening that happened. It's a shift that's occurring, and they sending out every coon they can find to come talk against everything that us black people are trying to do. Ask yourself this question, my people. Have you ever seen your people in a more awake state than they are right now? Think about that for a second. Ask yourself, have you ever seen your people in a more awake state than they are right now? The answer to that probably will be no. That's because it's an awakening that has happened, and we are getting back to our rightful place. It's coming, and they know that, and that's why we starting to see more and more of these coons come out. In my opinion, Raven Simone talking out against us. I mean, I don't think she said nothing lately, but talking about she won't even hire a person if they have a black sounding name.
Can we take back racist and say discriminatory? Because I think that's a better word.
Yes, it is a much better
That's
word.
a better word. And I am very discriminatory against words like the ones that they were saying in those names. I'm not about to hire you if your name is Watermelon Drea. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to hire you.
Really? That's not your
If I was King
their
Kong
fault.
Quisha, I would be such a beautiful King Kong Quisha, by the way. I'm just letting you guys know. It's like,
No, is that mean?
You know
Is that mean of me?
You know how many white people that say the same thing? So if you have a sister out here that's in position of hiring people, and she's not even gonna look over your resume if she doesn't like your name, if that's not some self-hatred right there, I don't know what is. You know, because that's what this cooning stuff is. It's self-hatred.
I think Whoopi had to hand it to her a few times on that show, you know, for some of her retarded comments.
It didn't stop her. And she's still out here, still acting
No, it didn't.
acting the same. Like this cooning stuff, it starts from when the child is small. I think the parents, us as parents, we lack in that at some aspect. Like how many times your parent told you, "Don't stay in the sun too long, you get dark." Things like that. How many times you heard stuff like that?
I'm gonna beat the black off you.
Growing up, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that is detrimental to the child's mind and their self-esteem. Like you already gonna have low self-esteem going through the basic curriculum that you go through. By the time you learn everything they want to teach you, your self-esteem as a black person is gonna be lower than a child of any other race. That's just a fact. That just is what it is. They got the data to prove it, and you can tell. I mean, we don't even have to
Save.
okay, I'm sorry, but why would you save Afro hair? I mean, you can't weave in Afro hair. You don't never see us at the hair place going, look here, what I need is, I need this curly, nappy beard. that just seems
But
nasty.
I totally get this. I mean, I don't know if I'm weird, but I have like my son's first haircut and hair little
Which
things
is probably
and
some beautiful, long, silky stuff.
Me too.
That's not what an afro is.
I mean, she got a good response out of the crowd for that. See, that's cooning at its finest right there. Because when you can't tell a joke to black people and it be funny, that means you're shucking and jiving. That means you tap dancing. That means you're doing all of those things to get a good response from your slave master, quote unquote, your proverbial slave master. You're doing that for that. Same thing with Steve Harvey. I don't give a damn about slavery. You can't tell that joke to a group of black people and get the same response you got out of those white people. And they know that when they do it. And they do it for those reasons, just for a congratulatory response from whiteface. You know?
That brother's gonna say whatever he needs to say to stay on the air.
What should I do if I find myself in a conversation with a history buff that goes over my head?
I want you to look right at the person and do this right here. They ask you something about the past. You say, I don't really care for slavery.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
He also said a caller called in from Flint, Michigan one time, and they were talking, I forgot what they were talking about, but he told the caller, yeah, have a nice drink on your dirty water or some stuff like that. That's not nothing to say. You know what I mean? Like, that's a serious situation right there. Like, I don't care if you're a comedian or not, you got to have some responsibility and humility about the stuff you talk about. Everything is not a joke. You know what I mean?
I'm coming up to your show.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And I'm gonna have a conversation with you about your joke.
And here you have some other big black coon waiting to block you from getting to him. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like it's an epidemic right now, but you got to be aware. You got to ask yourself, am I doing anything like that? You know, to cause it to be a detriment to my people? Am I doing anything to speak out? Because, you know, a lot of things, black people, even if you don't agree with what the person is fighting for, being quiet is the best thing. That's what white people do. You know, a lot of them aren't racist. If they got around racist people, what they doing? They're being quiet. Because what they're doing is behooving them. It's helping their white agenda. So we have to help our own agenda. You know what I mean? Like, you can take that how you want and you can dissect it, but that's the raw, honest truth. That's what we have to do. We have to be more Afrocentric, if you will. We have to put our people first and think about ways we can improve ourselves. And speaking out against people who are trying to help our sons and daughters is not the way. And that's what this episode.
Yeah. Hello, my ass. Who this nigga up on that name?
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to make something very clear. Blue lives matter in America. That law enforcement officers treat black males different than white males in policing in these urban centers.
There is data that supports
There is not data.
No, the president spoke about it. Cedric Alexander, who is a law
The president has
enforcement
been
officer,
lying about it. He said it again the other day when he said black males are 2 times more likely to be shot by a law enforcement officer than white males. Don, that is a lie.
The Coon of the Year for 2016, Sheriff David Clark. I think he recently resigned. Lately, we heard about a lot of his prisoners in his jailhouse died and things like that. So he respectfully resigned a few days ago. I'm pretty sure he's gonna pop up in Donald Trump's cabinet in some way, shape, or form. You can bet that he was such a strong supporter. It's to the extreme. Like I said, to earn that Coon of the Year title, which he did, you got to be going hard, and he went so hard. If you're not familiar with him, please go look at this brother and see if you can match him up with any other personality you ever met, because this is someone you definitely want to stay away from, because he is a white supremacist with black skin. I don't know if y'all familiar with the old Dave Chappelle skit with Clayton Bigsby, but this is real life Clayton Bigsby. Go check this Coon out. He gets no love. Charles Barkley, who I think thinks he has a political career soon. Speaking out against Trayvon Martin, man, I don't think I can never look at Inside the NBA the same again. I'm a big basketball fan, but did you hear his comments?
I stay away from Charles Barkley as much as I can.
Yeah.
What he said.
He said that George Zimmerman shouldn't be found guilty. And then after he wasn't found guilty, he then came on and said, yeah, I knew from the beginning, it wasn't enough evidence, and it's unfortunate Trayvon lost his life, but, 2 people got in an argument that night, and unfortunately one of them lost their life, and it just was all sorts of things saying basically he understood why George Zimmerman killed that young boy. And it was disgusting to see a black man say that, but I mean, once again, people do things for personal gain.
What about the case? We're waiting for the results to come down from the grand jury for Eric Garner here in New York, right? I mean, it's one thing in Ferguson, there's some audio, but you see the video, you see these cops surround him, and he ultimately, it was a homicide. He dies.
I don't think that was a homicide. I don't think that was a homicide. I think
what was that? It was a chokehold. You see it.
Well, I think the cops were trying to arrest him, and they got a little aggressive. I think excessive force, something like that. But to go right to murder, when the cops are trying to arrest you, if you fight back, things go wrong. That doesn't mean, I don't think they were trying to kill Mr. Garner. He was a big man, and they tried to get him down.
You just got to be aware of that. Try to distance yourself from that type of personality, because it's so hurtful, and it's so terrible for us to having to live in a society where, while we're trying to fight this good fight that we've been fighting, that other people that look like you are gonna try to stop your cause. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
And it's so obvious, and it's so blatant. You have to know that your people are looking at you. Like, how do you wake up? How do you go to sleep knowing that you are selling out?
On a money pillow. That's how they go to sleep.
Yeah.
Even Mike Vick.
That's hard sleep.
That's some hard sleep. Yeah, but I'm telling you, Mike Vick, he said Colin Kaepernick needs to cut his hair. Mike Vick, before he was incarcerated, had cornrows. He made every little boy that was a little boy around the time when he was in his peak want to grow hair and have that stereotype unattached from that being a thug image into that you can be a respectable person and have cornrows. So for him to come after we fought so hard for him when he was locked up, and free Vic, and supporting him through everything he went through, to come on TV and say Colin Kaepernick should cut his hair, and that Colin Kaepernick needs to do this and to refine his image and to get some type of forgiveness after Colin Kaepernick didn't even commit a crime. I mean, it's something in the works here. It's no mistake he had a microphone in his face. That's all I'm saying. You know?
Just like Ray Lewis, you know, we know you're somebody's boy. We know. I mean, that's super obvious.
Yeah. And be aware of the things that they do on the media to put us against each other and still have them win no matter what. What they'll do is they'll get a left-winged black guy or black woman, and then they'll get a right-winged black man or black woman. And they'll have them argue and pit it out. Then they'll have a mediator who's white. When the right wing goes off and starts saying something about black people bad, they have this white mediator come on and say, "Hey, but this happened, this happened." That's where they always look like the good guy. But guess who looks like the bad guy? Us two up there arguing and losing our composure. Be aware of stuff like that, because the only person who wins in that is this white mediator. He looks like, oh, this is the white savior all over again. This is the propaganda that's thrown in our face. And we've been blind to it like all this time, but it's like right there. You know what I mean? We're fighting against each other. They're come along to save the day. And then it goes off. And people who've never been around black people before, they go away with a certain image. Oh, he couldn't even be quiet when the other person was talking. And oh, he was this. The white guy had to come in and stop the argument because it was getting out of hand. This is the type of dialogue they're having because they're unfamiliar with black folk, you know? And I'm not saying we need to try to sway their minds, but I'm just saying be aware of what's happening and the propaganda that's being used. You know?
I mean, the tricks are they're never gonna stop. You know, but like you said, we just gotta persevere, man. We know better. We see it. It's clear. You know, you can't miss. You know, somebody just lying in your face all the time. If you do, then you need to, I don't know, see a counselor, a psychologist, or something.
Yeah, but we just wanted to bring some light to that.
Hey, you got Stacey Dash on this list, bro.
I do got Stacey Dash on the list. I forgot about Stacey Dash on that list. She done so many things over. I'm pretty sure everybody. Well, just in case you aren't, Stacey Dash, the black star, the cliche token black girl in the hit movie Clueless, came out.
She wasn't included.
She was included.
Yeah.
That's where I first saw Stacey Dash. She worked with Fox News a long time.
Man, was she in Mo Money?
Was she in Mo Money?
Mo Money. That's where I first.
That's the Wayne's movie, right? Yeah. I think she was in that. But she was hired by Fox News. If you're not familiar with Fox News, then you must be living under a rock, because all they do is talk about Barack Obama. They've been talking about Barack Obama. They still talking about Barack Obama, and the man not even in office no more. That's what just called Fox News, Obama News, because that's all they obsessed with. Stacey Dash got on there and slandered him all over the years, and slandered black people, and slandered anything that wasn't white and had blonde hair. Stacey Dash was all over all of that. Recently, she was fired, and now, mind you, this woman is somebody who once profited from black culture, because she was on the cover of King magazine. I believe I got it down there somewhere still. The Stacey Dash issue. I'll never forget that. But yeah, she just another one in this list. I'm pretty sure we left some people out, but I just want to bring y'all attention to what cooning is. Maybe you've seen that on your timeline, on your Twitter feed, and you're like, what is a coon? This is a coon. This is what a coon is, a sellout. Okay? And it's rampant right now, and we need to be aware of it and check it as soon as you see it, if you can. You know what I mean? Here's a coon right here. I used to like this guy, man, Lil Wayne, a.k.a. Weezy, a.k.a. Lil Tunechi. I used to like this dude, man, as a rapper and a lyricist. Even though he didn't have much substance, I used to rock with him hard.
But outside of a jail cell, his celebrity status has clearly shaped his perspective. Recently stirring controversy on Fox Sports when he said he personally doesn't see racism because so many of his fans are white.
I thought that was clearly a message that there was no such thing as racism.
There was a lot of backlash from people about that. Would you change it, what you said, or
No,
you
not
still
at
feel the
all.
same way? What's your thought on Black Lives Matter?
What is it? What do you mean?
The idea is that there's this movement called Black Lives Matter, thinking that the rest of America didn't seem to understand that Black Lives Matter.
It just sounds weird. I don't know that you put a name on. It's not a name. It's not whatever. if somebody got shot by police and for up reason. I am a young, black, rich. If that don't let you know that America understand black matter these days, I don't know what it is. Don't come at me with that dumb man. My life matter, especially to my.
And like I said, I know Black Lives Matter is not exclusively made by us. That's not really our thing. But I also said that if people are talking up for things that are for you, you don't necessarily have to speak out against it. You don't have to say what you really feel if it's gonna hurt other people.
I have no opinion.
Yeah, that's all you gotta say. I'm pretty sure he got media training. He's been in the game like 20 years, but he chose to say it's a dumb cause. He don't know why. People think it's racism. He went on to say that it was a white guy filming him right then, and if that doesn't show you that there's no racism in America, he doesn't know what will. Like, this is coon stuff. You know what I mean?
How long he's been rich? I've been rich too long for me to even notice.
Exactly, but it's black people that exploit the black community too for gain, and he's one of them because he talks about constantly killing young blacks and drugs in the community and making it a lifestyle, even gang culture. He promotes all of that. This is all black people that are looking at that and self-identifying with it and wanting to be like him, looking at him as a role model. But he's saying he don't even care about you, basically. You know, there's no need to fight against. He said when police shoot people, shit happens. That's his words, verbatim. That's what he said. He shouldn't care about it, you know? And I'm pretty sure Lil Wayne was high that day, but he never retracted these statements. He stood by him.
Is he still in the hospital? I heard he's in the hospital. Right?
I heard he was in the hospital for seizures, but his daughter, the one Reginae, said something like, don't believe everything you hear or something like that. It's like, Daddy's okay. So, I don't know. I don't want to get away from his coon antics right now. I don't want that to happen to the brother, but coon is a coon.
It's true. Coon is a coon. Hey, man, blessed born day.
Oh, appreciate that. My birthday was the other day.
That's right, my brother right
9-3.
You know, got to come out, hang with the brother.
Yeah. You did a little sucking the job.
No coons. There was no coons that night. No way.
Yeah, it was no coons that night. We apologize to all you guys that been tuning in and waiting to hear from us. That it's a little lag in between, but we promise to do better and try to be around more frequently. But we just want to make sure we got everything right and have some good topics and stuff to talk about. But as always, man, we're real passionate about this. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, comment down below, man. I haven't really had a lot of you guys talk to me like that about what we're saying. Like if you disagree, agree, anything like that, like just let us know. If you know got any ideas, like just let us know. And also, you know, I know we said before that we're gonna have young entrepreneurs on and people that already have their business up and running off the ground. We still got all that coming. Just be patient. And until next time, I'm your host Brad Lamar.
Can Do representing Brooklyn.
And until next time, man, this has been Do Better. Peace. Hey, can I get somebody to give me the chapstick on the set?
Really?
Hey.